Today I'm here with my son Ben, and the two of us are Texans who are going to taste a selection of traditional and popular Eastern European foods. Hi sweet friends, I'm Mary and this is my sweet son Ben, and welcome to Mary's Nest, where I teach traditional cooking skills for making nutrient-dense foods like bone broth, ferment, sourdough,
and more.
So if you enjoy learning about those things, consider subscribing to my channel, and don't forget to click on the little notification bell below. That'll let you know every time I upload a new video. Well, recently, an Eastern European market opened up in Austin, Texas. So we drove into town to go visit it, and while we were there, we wound up purchasing a plethora of goodies. And so since our son Ben is home, we thought it would be fun for the two of us to taste test some of these things and let y'all know what we think. Now, my son is a born and bred Texan. I'm an adopted Texan. I got here as fast as I could. So I hope it's okay that I'm referring to myself as a Texan. But these are foods, other than maybe Kvass and Kefir, that we don't eat a lot of. So that's why we bought them and we said, let's give them a try. Well, first I have to tell you how cute this market is. They have such a huge selection of some of the most unique foods that we've ever seen. And the name of this market, if you're ever in Austin, Texas, is Borderless European Market, or BEM, B-E-M. So let's get started. Which one would you like to start with?
Oh my gosh, this is a tough call. A lot of these things look very good and very odd at the same time. I often say that. What do you think? Maybe the pickles?
Okay, let's give them a try.
Very easy peasy. You want? I can open it up for you.
Now let's see. These are dill pickles, and they're made in the Russian style. Now these all have very small print, so you're going to have to excuse me with my bifocals here. Okay, these are gherkins, and they've got water, salt, and sugar, black pepper, garlic, bay leaf, some hot pepper, some red pepper, and some dill weed oil. And these are the product of Bulgaria. So in Bulgaria, they're making Russian-style pickles. Alrighty, give it a taste. You want to give it a taste? Tell me what you think.
Very different.
Really?
Not bad.
Oh, let me give it a try.
But not like a pickle at all.
Really?
Spicy.
Really?
And a lot like dill. Very dill.
So not like the gherkins we get here that are more tangy or sweet?
It's not really sweet at all and not too tangy. It's not bad, but it's not like a pickle. Not what I'd associate with a pickle.
Yeah, that's really different. It's got a lot of spice to it, but not a lot of tang. You're not getting the strong vinegary flavor that we notice more in the American pickles or the French gherkins that we get. But the dill flavor is really pronounced, wouldn't you say?
Very much so.
Yeah.
And spicy.
Spicy.
Like, spicy.
Really spicy. But
not expect that.
But they're good. They're good. And I definitely think this is the kind of thing that if you're doing like a charcuterie platter with a lot of meats and cheeses, these would definitely help digestion.
Give somebody a little surprise.
Spice, that'll break things up. Well, that's fun. Alrighty, let's set these aside. I would definitely give those a thumbs up.
Yeah,
how about you?
Thumbs up.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They got a really nice crunch. That's definitely working in their favor. But they are spicy. So I'm sure that in many metropolitan areas, there are Eastern European markets, and you probably will see some of these actual foods in those markets, or something very similar. So if you do see these Bulgarian-made but Russian-style pickles, you'll know that they're not going to be tangy, but they're going to have a spicy kick.
They don't taste like pickles, but they're good.
They don't. They're different. Alrighty, well, Benjamin picked this to try next. And what is this, honey bun?
Birch juice.
Birch juice. So this, interestingly enough, it actually says on the back, ingredients, organic birch juice, 97%. And then there's a little bit of sugar, and that's basically it. And this is a product of Ukraine. Now, what's interesting is this may be something that maybe is boiled from the birch tree or some birch sap, maybe with some water added. We're not really sure, but there is a picture of birch trees in the middle here. And this I find very curious because growing up in New York, birch trees are very common, but we didn't have birch juice. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to try this.
How do you think it's going to be?
Let's take a sniff. Oh, it's got unusual. It's like
I
kind
can't
of
really smell it.
a little slightly medicinal. Do you get something slightly
Yeah.
medicinal? Alrighty,
Cheers.
cheers.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that is good.
That is good.
This is so refreshing.
Oh my gosh, it's delicious.
You hardly taste any sweet at all. Like you said, it's 97% birch juice. Now, and organic, no less, and from Ukraine. This is so refreshing. This
It's really good.
on a hot day over a lot of ice.
Yeah.
It's very light.
Myself up.
Yeah, oh, good. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, because it's almost like water, but not at the same time.
Yeah, it's very similar to water, but it has an incredibly smooth mouthfeel,
That's
right?
the perfect way to describe
Right?
it. Yeah.
It almost feels like there's a little something.
Like it gives a coating on
Yeah,
it.
like it gives a little coating, but very soothing, very mild flavor.
I just don't know how they got it, because you think of the birch tree.
Doesn't it almost have a little bunch of like
Something.
almost like a little citrus or something?
I can
lit-
definitely see that.
Yeah. But this is really good.
Yeah, I see what you mean about the citrus.
Yeah.
It's very good, though.
So I don't know about you, but I give this 2 thumbs up.
I give this
I got 2 thumbs. This is really good.
Very good.
So if you see this in your travels, I highly recommend it. It's not sweet at all. Alrighty, what should we try next?
Oh my goodness. Whatever I've picked, so I think it's only fair. What are you
Well,
feeling?
you know what? I thought it might be fun to try one of the kind of popular, some of these things are very traditional, and then some of these things are just kind of popular foods. Now, this just looked fun. I don't even really know what it is, but there's some corn here. And so it looks like it might be, I'm trying to think what those things are called, like Cheetos or
They're
something.
like the giant Cheetos that aren't Cheetos.
Yeah, but they're made of corn. And I don't think they have any oh yeah, okay, here are the ingredients. Cornmeal and then sugar. I can see how this is popular. Some sunflower oil and water and salt, and that's it. And if you all know, if you recognize this, let us know in the comments.
Cat with
Yeah, the cat with the little baseball cap, very cute. Alrighty, let's give this a try. They remind me of like the styrofoam that come, right? The packaging.
They look just like packing peanuts.
Yeah, packing peanuts. That's what they're called.
Goodness. All right.
All right, and I can't even tell you the calorie count because none of it's in
It's in
English. I don't
Russian.
even know what it's saying. That's funny. All righty, let's give it a try. Oh my gosh, they're
They're
good.
delicious.
These are not good for you. I'm confident.
They're just
my
like
gosh.
corn pop cereal.
They melt in your mouth. Oh, and they're so
They're really
sweet.
sweet. They're really sweet. Yeah, this is not from the traditional foods
No.
kitchen.
Oh my God, but these are tasty.
They are very
Did
good.
you want another one?
Thank you.
I have to tell you, this would just be an occasional treat. And I think you'd have to really dole this out and then hide them because I think these are a little addictive. But I would definitely give these a thumbs up.
Yeah, this cat with the
Yeah,
hat.
hat.
Gives it a thumbs up.
Up, yeah. Oh, is he giving it a thumbs up too?
Oh, is he? I don't
Oh no,
know.
I can't
just-
tell. Oh, he's
just saw
yeah,
him.
this is definitely a kid snack. Well, next we thought we would experiment and try something called baked kefir or kefir, depending on how you pronounce it. I've often said kefir in the past, and I had to really laugh when I received comments that said, people said, why are you being so fancy saying kefir and not kefir? Because here in the United States, a lot of people say kefir. But in any event, so this is baked kefir. Now, I looked this up on the internet to try to educate myself about it because I had never heard of this.
Neither have I.
And you know me over the
You know,
years,
you've
right?
heard of everything,
You've heard a
really.
lot of
Like-
traditional foods, but I had never heard of this. And when I looked it up, what I could find was Eastern European recipes for baked milk. And sometimes people will use kefir or kefir to make this. And it's this whole process of where they put, it almost reminded me of clotted cream. They put the milk in the oven, they let a crust form on the top, then they remove the crust, then they refrigerate it, and then they culture it, and then they put it in a glass, and it's not sweetened, it's plain, but through all of this concentrating process they do of heating it in the oven, they described it as almost having a consistency of like evaporated milk or condensed milk. And some people will just eat that crust as is and then have the basically baked milk or baked kefir as a drink. They'll shake it up and get it to be nice and loose and then drink it. But sometimes some of the recipes I read said that in olden days, which you know I love that, when it gets very traditional, they save that part that bakes up on top, that crust, and then they put a piece of that crust in the glass as like maybe a little treat or something. They are really enjoying this. And because this concentrated
probiotics
and the probiotics and the concentrated flavor makes it very sweet and tasty. So maybe it'll be good. Let's give it a try. So now let me explain. This is made in the United States, and I'm, you know, with my pronunciation, I don't know how to say this, but that's in red here, that is the name of the baked milk or the baked kefir, Rezeknaka. If you know how to pronounce this, write it phonetically in the comments. Alrighty, well, I'm going to put a close-up picture of this in so that you can see exactly what this looks like. But it really does resemble condensed milk. It's got that beigey color to it, and it's a little chunky, so I'm just taking this spoon to give it a little stir. But I could see it is, as you can see, the consistency.
Looks like yogurt almost.
Yeah, it looks like yogurt, but a little on the watery side.
It smells like yogurt overall. A little burnt yogurt almost.
Yeah, burnt yogurt. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, burnt yogurt.
Shall we?
Here we go. It's interesting.
It's interesting. It's like extremely sour, bitter yogurt.
Yeah.
I can imagine it's probably good for you.
Oh, I would think it's very good for you because it says made, well, as I said, it's made in the U.S., but according to the traditional recipe, and it says active culture, and it's a specific, active probiotic cultures. And from what I read online, there's specific cultures that they use to make this, but it's really, I cannot see, at least the way this particular brand is, I can't see kids really, unless they're raised from a very young age, drinking this. This is really tangy.
Yeah, maybe it's sweetened sometimes, but not from these people. It's very tangy.
Yeah, it's very tangy. I don't mind tangy, so I would give it kind of like a modified thumbs up. Yeah. I think I might prefer drinking kefir and or eating yogurt, even plain yogurt. This is just it's unusual flavor.
Yeah.
And tangy, but an unusual tanginess. Like it's burnt. Yeah, like it's burnt. So, and I think that's a flavor maybe that we're not 100% used to.
Probably,
yeah, but that might be a flavor that...
I just like it extra crispy.
Yeah, that's just that in the Eastern European culture, that must be a food that people are used to growing up with and eating, and so they grow to like it. Just like here, how there are foods that I grew up eating and I talk about, like sardines and kippers and all, but that younger people didn't necessarily grow up eating here, and so those foods have kind of fallen out of fashion. I wonder if baked milk or baked kefir is in that.
Its time has come and passed.
Yeah, but you know what? Since we're on the kefir train, let's try this one. Now this kefir is also made by the same company, Fresh Made, and this is made here in the United States. And you can find a lot of kefirs made here in the United States. Now, I wasn't able to find out if this is just cultured with a culture to make kefir, or if they use the actual grains to make kefir. If you've seen my kefir making video where they look like the grains look like little pieces of cauliflower. So that I don't know, but I do know, if you've seen some of my other videos with my son and with my husband, kefir is not high on their hit parade, I should say.
There's a fear.
And when my son was a teenager.
Oh, I was pretty young.
And I said to him, here, try this, Ben. They say it's the champagne of milk. And your response?
I don't drink.
Ben, it's chunky. He doesn't like it.
Oh, this brings back memories to the raw milk. If you don't shake it up real good, you have a butter plug and it's chunky.
Oh, that tastes like homemade kefir.
Liquid yogurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I ever really gave kefir a chance. It's not horrible.
No, this is good. Now, the difference that I notice, and I'm wondering if it's because maybe it's just cultured, homemade kefir with the grains is effervescent. That's why they call it the champagne of milk. And it's a little tangier than this, but there is some similarity, I think, to homemade kefir, and I like it. So.
I'm sure it's not as strong as homemade, but it's not terrible at all. It doesn't have that burnt flavor.
No, it's not. This is not strong. Kids could drink this too.
Yeah.
And this doesn't, would you say this doesn't have as tangy a flavor as the homemade one?
Definitely not.
This is pretty mild.
It tastes very similar to yogurt without any honey or anything.
Yeah, it tastes like plain yogurt.
But like water.
Yeah.
But not water, but a thicker milk consistency almost.
Now, I would give this a thumbs up.
Yeah, so would I.
I mean,
this
is a basic probiotic, cultured, milk product that you could use in a lot of applications. You could put this in smoothies, instead of yogurt.
Yeah, you wouldn't notice.
And if you gave it a really good shake to get the chunks out, I think that you could definitely use this in place of milk if you had, like some whole grain cereal or something like that.
Yeah.
So thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Now these 3 jars are different salads that were made in Poland. And this one is a vegetable hunter salad.
Ooh.
And it's primarily green. Oh gosh, it's hard to read. Green tomatoes. Oh, that's interesting. Green tomatoes, water, sweet pepper, onion, vinegar. This is going to be interesting to try. And then, see, nothing goes to waste. That's how they're not doing fried green tomatoes. They're doing these wonderful pickled green tomatoes. And this one is called vegetable Danubian salad. And this is primarily cucumbers and sweet peppers. I think that's the bulk of what they're listing here. Pickled cucumbers and sweet peppers. And then this one
looks very good.
It does look very good. This one is simply called vegetable salad. So this one, the vegetable salad, is primarily cucumbers, sweet peppers, and dill. Yeah, you can see the dill here in the jar. So we'll try the vegetable salad first.
Looks very good.
Yeah, it looks very good.
Smells good.
And it smells of dill. You can get to the dill. Yeah. It's good.
I always have that nice memory with dill.
Alrighty, let's go. We're going in here with clean forks. We got a whole collection of forks we're going to have here. You have a nice memory?
Oh, yes.
Oh, of the dill?
And letting the caterpillars eat it.
Yeah.
There's plenty for everyone.
That's what I told him, yeah.
Sweet.
Whoops. Oh, I dropped some
I'll get that guy.
Okay.
Nothing to write home about, but it's not bad.
It's different if you are used to getting a real crunch.
It's not crunchy.
From pickles, pickled pickles and things like this, pickled cucumbers. There's no crunch, but it is tasty.
Yeah.
But it's like an average tasty.
Yeah.
I think it would make a lovely little accompaniment as a side dish, or even as like
on
a
top
little
of a salad almost.
yeah,
would
on
be
top of
good.
a salad, or maybe on top of a sandwich.
Oh yeah.
But it's not bad. And this one is just the plain vegetable salad. This is the one that had the dill in it. So we'll put that to the side.
Any more mush or any more or less crunch, and it would be mushy. You know?
Yeah, yeah. This one, this is the vegetable Danubian salad. So let's give this one a try. Oh, this feels very soft too. So they're not into the crunch.
It's not bad.
Not super crunchy. But I like this one. I actually like this better than that one.
I agree.
I love the onion flavor coming through.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, this is good. So I would give that, like a modest, like maybe a sideways thumb. It's just very average. This I'd give a thumbs up.
I'd give it a
just a middle of the road.
Almost up, but
Yeah.
if it had a crunch.
Yeah, it has no crunch.
If it had a crunch, oh, it'd be delicious.
But the onion flavor coming through this is very good. Now, this one really intrigues me. This is the one that has the pickled green tomatoes. So I am curious to try this. Does feel
it's
a little...
always hard finding things to do with the green tomatoes.
Yeah, it is. And I wouldn't have thought of pickling them. But let me give this a try. You get yourself one, too. Oh, you got some nice red pepper in there, too. What do you think?
I'm not giving it a thumbs up. I'll give it that much.
I'm not a fan.
Maybe they weren't meant to be pickled. Yeah, it's not very good. It's not.
It's almost tasteless.
Yeah.
Would you find that? Yeah.
It has the slightest of vinegar flavors, but besides
very
that,
slight.
really nothing.
Very slight, yeah. Yeah, this one, I never like to give anything of like a total thumbs down. It is a good way to make use, of pick. You know what this reminds me of? When I talk about cooking with scraps, this reminds me of like just kind of pickling whatever little scraps you have in the fridge.
Yeah, whatever was left.
Yeah, and with very mild. I find this fascinating that the pickles from Bulgaria and then these three pickles from Poland are very light on the vinegar flavor.
Yeah.
Here in the United States, we get much stronger vinegar, wouldn't you say?
100%.
These,
it's maybe 25%?
Yeah.
Would you say 25% as strong as your standard?
Yeah,
Whatever we get?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, these being
vinegar strength.
A vinegar strength. Yeah, they're very, very mild. So if you're not a fan of super vinegary things, you might actually really find these quite pleasant. They're very mild. While we're on this kick, let's try, this is a Greek salad that is made, it says on the back, made for Berlin. So is this a Greek salad that maybe is sold in Berlin and that they're eating in Germany? And then the other thing over here, we've got some pickles. I meant to open and taste these when we tasted the other Cornichons, but I think we remember how those tasted.
Those were spicy.
Yeah, those were really spicy, but light on the vinegar. So let's open this. So this Greek salad, which appears to be made for Berlin, is a mixture of cucumbers, carrot, pepper, onion, water, vinegar, a little bit of sugar. The sugar's like at the very end along with the salt. So let's give this.
This is not what I would normally
think
picture
it is a Greek salad. Yeah.
But it doesn't look unappealing.
Again, yeah, it's got a very cucumbery kind of fragrance.
That might be the pickles too.
Alrighty, let's give this a try. Very mild.
Very, very mild.
Really light. Is there vinegar in? There's vinegar in here, but
Barely taste it.
you can barely taste it.
It comes off almost a little sweet pickle-y.
Yeah, but hardly anything. It's incredibly mild flavor. And again, the texture is kind of very, very soft. Very different than a lot of the pickled type things that we have here in the United States. This is very mild. I would kind of put that in the same category. I'd give it like a side thumbs. It's kind of in that green tomato. It's just so mild. Yeah. There's really not much flavor. Now these are, These, I'm not sure. There's all kinds of writing on these, but there is one section in English, but this definitely is from Eastern Europe. This is Mikado, Quality Foods, and they're Cornichons. Now, this is going to be very interesting to try. And the reason is we buy Cornichons here in the United States, both that are made here in the U.S. as well as some that are made in France, and they are super tangy.
Delicious,
right? Yeah, because we have
the tangy gene.
We like the vinegary flavor.
Oh yeah, something nice and strong vinegar. That's very good.
And basically, all this is cornichons and some salt, and I think they got some vinegar and the mustard seeds. So we'll give it a try. Mild. I really like the texture.
Great texture.
But the flavor, it's like they were canned in water.
Yep.
It's really, really mild.
You only really taste the pickle.
Yeah.
And even then,
it's very mild.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I give it a sideways thumbs. Alrighty. Well, there's our pickled vegetable journey. Now, let's try something that I am so excited to try. These are, what intrigued me is these were made with buckwheat. I believe people who are gluten-free can eat buckwheat, but I know a lot of people are not crazy about it. There were two varieties. This is wheat rye, coriander, cumin, rye flour, salt, and rye malt ferment.
Right, this one's all buckwheat.
And this one is all buckwheat.
Product of Russia.
Oh yeah, good. You saw it. Great. Alrighty. So let's.
They don't look bad at all.
No, I think these are going to be tasty.
And especially enjoying them with a little something on them.
Yeah, I think it'll be wonderful. And we're going to open the jams too.
They remind me almost of those, not rice.
The rice cakes?
Yeah, the rice cakes you see people eat.
Yeah.
You know, they remind me very much of them.
Alrighty, well these definitely look like rice cakes. It's going to be very interesting to try. And then here what we have are two Russian, sort of like jams. They basically say black currants mashed with sugar, this one. And then this one really attracted me because this is sea buckthorn preserves.
This is fascinating.
And this is just sea buckthorn and sugar. And sea buckthorn is supposed to be very high in vitamin C. So that's a nice thing. Now, yes, they have a little sugar, but everybody likes a few preserves from time to time. You going to try the buckwheat? Yeah, let's try the buckwheat first and see how it is.
Just like a rice cake, almost.
Just like a rice cake.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Really not bad at all. Mm-mm. Very palatable.
Mm-hmm. Now try this one that's got like the wheat and the rye.
Thank you,
See
Mom.
what you think.
Did you taste that?
You get the rye. I'm really getting the rye.
Yeah.
But it's like a rice cake, but that tastes like rye bread. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, now we'll move these out of the way and we'll try these darling little things on our rice cakes.
Now I'm very excited to try this one.
This looks so good, doesn't it?
They look really nice. Very much like jam.
Yeah.
But this one, I've never heard even of sea buckthorn? Buckwheat.
Buckthorn.
Buckthorn,
sea buckthorn. I'm actually going to put it on the buckwheat one because the taste of rye is so strong.
Overload it.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at the berries.
Oh, wow.
Mmm. Mmm.
I taste the vitamin C. Very sour. Strange.
That's a really different flavor, and it wasn't what I expected.
Not even close to what I expected.
But it's not that I don't like it. I like it. I
wouldn't say that I'm crazy about it, but it's not bad.
I want to take it just on a spoon by itself.
Good idea.
And then we'll get clean spoons before we go into the other one. But oh my gosh. That is the most unusual texture. It's got the whole seed. It reminds me of raspberries, but with larger, or blackberries, raspberries,
That's right,
but with larger seeds.
Yeah.
You'd have to be really careful
They
eating
look
this.
like very minuscule pomegranates almost, you know?
Yeah.
The little flair.
They do. And the taste, it's very intense. I don't know what fresh ones would taste like. I would think they might be very sour and tangy, because this is pretty tangy.
Yeah.
But it almost reminds me if we had done like a compote with maybe raisins and
It has that raisin aftertaste.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah. It's strong.
It's strong. But I would eat it because I think it's very high in vitamin C.
It's a unique kind of
A
thing.
very unique preserve, yeah.
But it's not what I would want to wake up and have on my toast. No. You know?
No, it's a very unusual. It kind of reminds me of a raisin compote or a chutney. Right? Like a chutney, something like that. Already now we're going to try this black currant. Ready?
I don't see any whole.
No, this is just like a jam. This is good.
Like blueberry jam with a slightly different flavor. But
Yeah.
and that strange aftertaste. You taste that?
It's similar to a blueberry jam, but a little tangier and a little stronger. And I think that aftertaste you're getting is that it's just a little stronger.
Yeah, maybe.
But I would give this a thumbs up.
So I would give them all a thumbs up.
You would?
Personally. I think there's a certain level of enjoyment from eating the whole seeds.
Yeah, you raise a good point. I'm leaning kind of a little sideways only because those seeds, you have to be really careful.
Oh yeah,
they get really lodged in your teeth. But the flavor is rich. But this I like. I would definitely put that on morning toast.
Me too.
Well, now we're going to try some classic kvass. And this is made from rye bread. So this is rye bread kvass. Now, if you've seen my video where I make kvass, I have both a beet kvass and a rye bread kvass. So this is going to be very intriguing to me to taste a real Russian kvass that's made with rye bread.
Yours is definitely better.
So I don't know about that.
I like kvass very much.
Yeah, I do too. But you know what's funny? You got to be careful when you make these things homemade, because the first time I made kvass, I didn't, rye bread kvass, I didn't make a video of it until later, but I just, I was experimenting and learning, and I had spoken to some people, through the internet today, the way it is, you can talk to so many people, and I was speaking with some Russian people, and they were explaining to me how to make it, and so I got some rye bread, some stale rye bread, some raisins, some apples. Well, I put it all in the jar, and I brewed it up, and so on and so forth, and I don't know if I lost track or I didn't understand completely how long, and I think I left it for like 30 days or something. Well, I tasted it and I made a video of myself, and I think I just put it in one of our traditional food Facebook groups, and everybody was laughing so hard because I just poured some and then took a swig. Oh my gosh, it was like bourbon. It was, and I don't drink, and it was so strong, and I was going, like this, Wow.
Cheers.
This has, oh my gosh, smell this.
Oh, it smells great.
This is really.
It really smells like a beer almost,
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
But with like apple overtones or something?
Exactly. Cheers.
Yeah.
Delicious. But kvass, like
Almost
liquid bread.
But almost like a little root beer.
Yeah.
A very mild root beer. This is not bad at all. This is not super strong. This is nothing like what I made homemade. This is actually quite tasty.
Like if a root beer had the taste of rye bread at the end. That's what it tastes like.
Oh, I like this. I'm giving this a thumbs up. This is very good. Terrific. Cheers.
Cheers.
Now this is a rye bread. I just took out a slice here. And the reason what attracted me to this one, a lot of the ones that I was looking at in that market had a lot of sugar in them. And so this one said low sugar. And this is actually from, I think this is from Lithuania. I think that's where, yes, it's the product of Lithuania. Then over here, we've got some sour cherry jam from Armenia, and then two, I believe these are Russian.
Or Lithuania, I think you said?
This is, the bread is Lithuania, the jam is Armenia, and I think, do these look Russian to you? I'm looking at the writing on the back. But this, now we're back to sea buckthorn.
I like the sea buckthorn over there.
So that one is the sea buckthorn and raw honey. And oh, this is Lithuania. These are all Lithuania, so these go well with the bread. So we'll give these a try.
See, these guys are probably
These might
tight.
be, yeah, they may be real sticky.
There we are.
Perfect. Oh,
Boy,
goodness.
the Armenian one, they
This
really
is
do it up
beautiful.
quite
Don't they
nice.
do it up nice? Here you go.
Thank you
Here's a
very
little bit of
much.
the bread. I'm just going to taste the bread straight up. Typical, very dense rye bread.
Yeah, very dense
100%
rye
rye bread. Alrighty. Now, I want to put some of this sour cherry on it. This just looks really good.
It's very dense, but with something kind of wet, it would make a good sandwich.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Thank you very much.
You know, this is where if you were making a sandwich and you used some of those
Perfect.
pickled vegetables, that would be perfect. Let's give it a try.
That is good. You and I like stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, this bread, this sour cherry jam, some kvass, this is a meal. Oh, if you come across this jam, you
Delicious.
have got to try it. That is delicious. Now let's try, this is just honey. So this is gonna be kind of rich, but I'll put a little bit on there. This is the sea buckthorn.
It looks like honey.
Yeah, it looks like the cream, you know, like when it's creamed, it's quite dense. But I like creamed honey. And this is mixed, this is wild raw honey, I think it said. And it's mixed with
I'm
this
sorry, I just ate
sea
it right
buckthorn.
away.
What do you think?
I've never been a big honey guy. I just remember looking at some honey in the pantry, and you know I have dyslexia, so I was reading it. I thought it said low calorie,
Yeah.
local.
Oh, it was
But it
local
said-
honey.
but it was local, and then
Yeah,
we all
and he
laughed.
thought it was locale. That was cute. It's really funny. I was expecting sea buckthorn to be a lot more tangy.
Yeah,
but
but
it's-
it's not good.
It's like it's kind of like almost like raisins. Yeah,
Strange.
yeah. It's an unusual flavor, but not horrible.
Yeah, I
The
judge
bread,
it too harshly.
thumbs up. The sour cherry, double thumbs up. And now I'm just going to use the same spoon because we didn't put it in our mouths. This is the one that's with blackcurrants. Now, we liked the blackcurrant jam
We don't
from
eat a
Russia.
lot of currants here in the States.
We
do
don't. We don't. You're 100% right. We don't eat a lot of currants here, and the reason
You
is
told me that, so I'm just stealing your info.
No. We have something called Zante or Zant currants, and it says currants on the box, and it'll be, I think it's like an orange box, and they're nice and tiny. I really like to use them when I make Irish soda bread instead of raisins. But I read that those are not truly currants, that they were some variety of raisin, some variety of grape that was small and that they dried. And then, I don't know if this was like at the turn of not this past century, but the century before, maybe in the 1900s or something, in the importing process, or in the growing process, if they were trying to compete with currants from other countries. I can't remember the whole story. If I remember it, I'll put it in the corresponding blog post that'll go with this video, where I'll also have a lot of information about all of this as well, all these foods as well. But I found it so funny because I was thinking, oh, these are currants. And they were actually like some kind of little grape or raisin or something. But yeah, we don't actually get a lot of real currants. So let's give this a try. So you already tried it.
I don't know what I was thinking. I just scarfed those down. The bread's quite good, but I don't know. You know, they're just like honey. I couldn't really taste too much of a difference.
Yeah, I would say both of these, the honey flavor really prevails.
Yeah.
Really prevails. But I've got to tell you, this rye bread, the kvass, and the sour cherry. Cheers. I'm sorry. I think that we really found some wonderful foods.
Yeah.
Now, there are some things here that are a little more modern, like these cookies. The only thing, we thought the packaging was so cute, but they're actually made with margarine, which was like a little disappointing to me, but maybe that allows it to extend the shelf life. So that was something interesting. And then over here, I've just got, I thought this was kind of fun, and they're just oat groats. but even so. And then this, yeah, we're going to have to open that and try that. And then this one over here was barley, but that it was all, you know, sort of semi-ground up, and that they talk about making a cereal with this. So that'll be fun to try sometime. Now, these over here are different types of like little cereals. This is like, that's what I'm assuming. And this is Russian, and I believe that it's Russian. And this is rye bran. Now let's see, this one, yeah, product of Russia. This is oat bran crisp with milk thistle. Seem very clever. This is bran rye crisp with seaweed. Very unusual. And this one was just rye bran crisp. So let's try this one and see what we think.
Be high in bran.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I'm assuming like maybe you mix these with milk and just kind of enjoy them.
They're
and
big
see,
for
yeah,
cereal.
See, they're kind of big, but they're very light. Very light. Yeah, try one.
Thank you.
See what you think.
Like a cracker, or like...
They're almost kind of salty.
Yeah, very much so.
Do you find them salty? Rye bran, rye malt,
Not bad.
salt, and ground coriander. I'm not catching the coriander,
But you
but
taste the salt.
well, you taste the salt.
Yeah, they definitely...
This could almost be like a good little snack.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use this as a cereal, and I was like just guessing. And I imagine the others, yeah,
Probably the same.
since that's with seaweed, that
Yeah.
seems like it would be a snack. I think so.
Well, do they even eat cereal with milk? I'm not sure.
I don't. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's amazing how cultures can be so different.
I'm being very presumptuous in thinking that they would eat that.
These
Now,
remind
do
me
I
of
still have
something
my
that
scissors
I had
here?
at an Asian market before.
Yeah, doesn't it look like it? Now, this Dad had picked this one out. Let me see.
You know, there are a lot of Asian influences with Russian food.
Oh, yes, there definitely are. That's a really good point. Oh my gosh, this has so much tiny, tiny, tiny print. This may be Russian, I'm not sure. But it reminds me of those sesame crackers that you see that are sold in the Asian markets like this.
Yeah, that's
these ones, and they're
exactly like
usually
it.
wrapped in a little paper. So you've got sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, peanuts, and then they got a lot of sunflower seeds, 3 sunflower seeds. Let's give it a try.
Just like ones you might have at the Asian market, but very hard. Not bad.
A strong sesame flavor, not super sweet at all. I like that about them. Definitely not super sweet. You want to try the peanut one? I'm going to leave these out. Thank you, sweetie.
Most definitely. Caramel peanut.
Very tasty, but
Nothing to write home about, you know.
no, what I think these kind of snacks we're very used to.
Yeah.
These are very familiar to things we would have here in the States. I'd give it a thumbs up.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Now, we just have a few more things to try. These are some kind of little bread toasts. We got a lot of Russian things. Whoops. Oh, these are so cute.
Oh, yeah.
They're almost like little croutons.
Yeah.
Here,
Thank
you try. I'll try. Ready? Oh, hard. But super tasty.
Wow. What is that? It tastes so strange, but very good.
They're quite hard. But
They're
let's
just
see.
like croutons.
Yeah, they're like croutons, but almost like a little harder. Oh, it's horseradish.
Wow. Oh, yeah. It makes sense.
Now I'm tasting. Now
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, it's rye, and it's rye flour and horseradish. So look at these. They're just adorable little croutons. Oh my God, I like the flavor.
Yeah, I like it very much.
Yeah.
Too. Horseradish is always good. What would you say was the best?
And these I think we gave thumbs up, and the little rye, these little granules. It's an interesting
Strange,
snack. Yeah,
but yeah.
I'd give it a average.
It's nice one time as something
Yeah,
unique, but not
yeah.
something for every day.
And so overall, I got to tell you, I think my favorite may be the birch water.
I'm with you 100%.
Really?
The birch water was delicious.
And you know what? Something I thought about when we were going through this video was I remember my mother and father, specifically my father, talking about something called birch beer. And my parents are New Yorkers, and this would have been like when my father was growing up, and I'm going to have to do some research and find out if birch beer has any relation to the birch tree. And if you know, let us know in the comments below. Well, I got to tell you, I say this wins
really
the day.
good.
This wins the day.
This came from the back.
Yeah.
This was unexpected victory.
Yeah, this was unexpected.
Because
I like that.
You don't think it's going to be good. It does not seem like something that is going to be good, but it is delicious.
It's delicious.
And 5 stars.
And then I'd give the Kvass.
It's a classic.
It's a classic. This is really good. And I'd say the sour cherry jam from Armenia, excellent.
And you know what? I'd actually give it a little bit of a higher ranking too. We put it in the fridge, but it was the
the Kefir.
The Kefir drink, not the burnt one, but the drink.
Not the baked one,
not
but
the baked one. No.
The drink
other
one.
one was not bad at all.
Yeah,
very palatable.
Yeah. Well, if you'd like to learn more about traditional foods, be sure to click on this video over here where I show you how to make various traditional foods, not necessarily just Eastern European, but a variety of traditional foods, including bone broth, ferments, cultured dairy, sourdough, all sorts of things. And I'll see you over there in my Texas Hill Country Kitchen. Love and God bless.